Michigan State Spartan basketball. What is success for this upcoming season? Also, yeah, of course, we got to talk about Niagara Purple Eagles. Let's go.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet, and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Just visit FanDuel to get started. Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, thank you all so much for tuning in to Locked On Spartans. It's your team in green and white 5 days a week. Please rate, review, subscribe. Comment below on YouTube what you think success will be in this upcoming Michigan State basketball season, because well, that's going to kick off our chat here. Now, it's not just me rambling on and on and on. No. This is one of my favorite people of all time to have on this show joining us. It's Carter Elliott of Sleepers Media. Carter, boys are 1-0 in basketball right now. See you in San Antonio? Is that safe to say? Everything's good?
Listen, can't win the second game unless you win the first one. There's 358, 360 something Division I teams. I really can't keep counting nowadays.
I've lost track. Yeah.
Some of them didn't start 1-0. So we got to relish in this. And that's me putting the positivity cap on, which I like doing from time to time, which people don't give me credit for, but I like doing it.
We're going to mix it up here. We're both going to be a little positive about a program that we haven't been overall positive about the last few years. But, I want to get into predictions about the season. We're going to talk about the game. I've got some overreactions that I need you to break test here a little bit. But first, let's just start about the S word, Carter. Success. Now, the other day on Twitter, I went out there before the game against Monmouth, and I said, what would success be for the season? And it was mixed. It was all over the place. Some said, hey, just get to the second weekend of the tournament. Some said, no, it needs to be a Final Four. Carter, this might be irrational, but that's kind of where I am. Now, let me say this. This is not my prediction. I'm screaming this. This is not my prediction, but this is what success for this basketball team means. And that's just a banner. It's a Big Ten championship. It's a Final Four. Or I could even take a Big Ten tournament championship if you tie it in with the second weekend appearance. But Carter, it boils down to just this. Well, first, can they do it? Yes, they can. Do I think they will? No. But can they? Sure. Whatever. We'll talk about that later. But for me, it's look, I hold Michigan State, like you and probably a lot of other listeners, in a high regard as a blue blood. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's been 5 years since the Big Ten title. You finished in the top 7 of the Big Ten just once in the last 5 years. In the last 3 years, Carter, they've gone 9-17 against top 25 teams. It's not good. Just 2 of those games on the road. I can't just have the last 5 years be one Sweet 16 appearance and a neutral court win against Baylor as my only 2 highlights and still call ourselves, yes, we're a bad blue blood. I know that might not be nuanced, but that's how I feel. You need to start raising banners here because 5 years, Carter, that's a long stretch. Am I way out of limb saying that? Am I way too ahead of my skis? Or what is success for you for this Michigan State basketball team?
So to me, it's a two-parter question because I feel the same as you about Michigan State basketball as a program. Success for this team, for this university, is banners. That's what it is. If you want to have your success, making the tournament, making second weekends, gotta go be a fan of Ohio State basketball or something like that. But Michigan State basketball, for better or for worse, I think everyone should hold them to the highest standard of other really great basketball teams. Now, that's not necessarily fair to every single Michigan State basketball team, but at the same time, these last, let's say, the post-COVID years,
sure,
I think have been I use the word failure. I think they've been a failure, right?
And that's fine, yeah,
and that's okay because that's how I think people should hold this program to. I'm not just gonna hang on to AJ Hoggard catching Tyler Kolek on a bad day and acting like that's the greatest run of all time. It was, I understand, that was great and all, but he also had a jammed thumb. It's great, but let's not just go on to making second weekends. What are we as a program?
Thank you. Right.
But at the same time, I do think you got to take each year as a what's a success for this team. I'm talking about you go personnel. I'm looking at, each guy on the team, where they're at, they're young, old, whatever they're at in their development. what is success, based on that team. And that might look a little bit different than like hang a banner. But at the end of the day, I think that overall success should be hanging banners for this Michigan State team. Like a banner, like win the Big Ten, win a Big Ten tournament, like you said. Do we even hang Elite Eight banners? Do we?
We don't. We actually just recently started the Big Ten Tournament Championship banner, which, like, I'm kind of bummed because we used to not, and that used to be like a cool calling card of being like, oh, that's for poor people's programs over there, hanging banners like that. But like, no, now we do. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, like I think banners is what it should be success for this team. And now I don't want to get too ahead of myself.
Right.
But
that's the thing too.
At the same time, like I saw this first game for Michigan State, and I've actually, been pretty locked into other Big Ten games, other Big Ten teams.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers, this conference is so open. Each team in this conference, I think, could go 10-10, and every team has a chance. This is open as I've seen. I came in like, oh, Indiana's roster. Okay, yeah, I forgot Mike Woodson. They didn't look that great. Illinois, you never really know. That's
a crazy program, dude.
It's a crazy program for who really knows. And then Purdue, the big bad man isn't the big bad national player of the year is not there anymore. So like it is wide open. So if Michigan State reaches their success ceiling, I think for the ceiling of this team, we could be talking like banners, which is great.
It's insane. Like I think we did the show. God, this is more than a few months ago at this point. But like BartTorvik.com. I think it was like 16 of the 18 Big Ten teams were anywhere between 9-11 and 12-8. Like you could throw a blanket over this whole field. It's nuts. But that also kind of goes with like why this can't be such a long gap between banners. Because like it's not like it's been murderer's row of Big Ten the last few years. Like sure, Purdue's been great, but by and large, like these are down years to the Big Ten, and you're still, again, I'll say the stat again, just one top 7 seed in the Big Ten tournament in the last 5 years. Like, I need to start seeing things change, and they have done things that change it this season. You added Frankie Fiddler, got a little better in the post. It will be hard. By no means am I saying that this should be what's expected, but again, like I can't just go this long with just one Sweet 16 and being like, yeah, hey, we're still a blue blood. And why am I harder on basketball than football? I can make excuses all day for football. Like you're in the shadows of Ohio State and Penn State. In basketball, Michigan State is those teams. Like you are the bully. You are supposed to be the instigator of the rest of the conference. That's why maybe I'm just short of patience. And it's not like you've gone through a lot of coaching changes. It's been the same guy for a generation. So let's get back to the way it should be, Carter. Join me in that. Come on, guys.
It gets old being sandwiched in between like Northwestern and Maryland. Like no disrespect to those programs, but maybe a little bit. Like that's not where we belong. We should be a certified top 4 Big Ten team. I didn't know how good I guess I had it before COVID, but like I guess I was like, okay, we had a rough year, 4th in the Big Ten.
Right.
It'll be better next year. I maybe I'm just spoiled, but like I think that's what success is for this team. And I think obviously Coach Izzo knows that. He's been around way too long. He knows whether he wants to like do the whole coach speak thing. I respect that. Coach speak is part of the game.
Yeah,
but that dude wants to win basketball games, and he doesn't want to be, middle of the pack Big Ten team. No chance.
No chance. And look, we're going to talk more about basketball, of course. We're going to talk predictions here. But first, Carter, I'm going to let you sit on this. I'm going to get your answer after the break here. But David wrote in mailbag question. Now, this is a thinking man's question here. We're blending together 2 sports. Is Aiden Childs football's A.J. Hoggard? When I got that, I said I need to save that question for my near dear personal friend Carter Elliott. But first, guys, need to talk your ears off about Robinhood. That is right, folks. We are talking about Robinhood Gold. And with Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Now, Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.5 APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with the handsome 3% retirement boost on an IRA account. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply for product-specific disclosures. Visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. And folks, FanDuel Sportsbook, yeah, of course, guys, Michigan State has a bye week coming up this Saturday, but hey, still keep it locked in with the number one sportsbook in America with FanDuel. Again, guys, America's number one sportsbook because they hook you up every college football Saturday. Or hey, you know what? Fancy a wager on my Lions, Carter's Lions, perhaps your Lions out there too. Right now as things stand, your Detroit Lions, 3.5-point favorites on the road Sunday night against the Houston Texans. That's going to be a can't-miss game. Add some more spice to it by involving FanDuel, America's number one sportsbook. And hey, guys, you know what? New customers can bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. When you get the hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You will get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's over at FanDuel.com, America's number one sportsbook, FanDuel.com. All right, let's drag him back out here. It's Carter Elliott of Sleepers Media, and just friend of the program. Thanks a lot for coming back on, Carter. Now, answer this question from David right now. Is Aiden Childs, because you guys at Sleepers Media, also doing football work now, of course, you're well-versed in this world, is Aiden Childs football's A.J. Hogard? I'll let you dance first on this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, you really let me mull that one over, too, which I appreciate because it took time. You know what? I'm not going to overthink this one. No. And
okay.
I'm going to watch my words here on this
Please.
one. Because
sure.
I don't want to. I'm not
family show.
I'm a 31-year-old man. It ain't me to talk about college kids to that degree. I'll just say that I think the mental makeup of those two guys is completely different. I will say that.
It's very cordial.
We're having this conversation because as much as Aiden Childs is who he is, he's a young man with room to grow.
Coachable.
Yeah, we didn't necessarily get that growth from AJ Hogard. He's just, a little bit 24-year-old, but a little bit immature at times, which, I think Aiden Childs is going to go
who's amongst us.
Yeah.
It'd be like that sometimes. Good luck to him at Vanderbilt on the better things, of course. But look, back to the Michigan State side of things. I do love that question by David there. I will add this, actually. You know who else had turnover issues as a young player? Didn't really score as much early on, but blossomed into a great player. That's right, Denzel Valentine, I think. I think early on in his career had a little bit of coughing the ball over issue. Early on, it wasn't, catastrophic the way it is with Childs by any means, but it took some time. But by the end, you know what? Damn it, that's a really good player you got over there. So that's the crossover comparison I'll make. Trying to keep things rosy for football somewhat here. Carter, point blank, what is your prediction for basketball? I gave mine on and off throughout the offseason, of course. I after all that Big Ten banner talk, I still do think that we are going to go towards a 7, 8, 9, 10 seed in the tournament. Now, I know it was one game against Monmouth, a little bit more optimistic after that, but still, what is your prediction long-term for Michigan State basketball this upcoming season?
Well, honestly, even though it's early in the year, I do hope there is some sense of urgency with the team looking around the conference and saying it's there. It is. Yeah. I had this vision in my head of Jeremy Fears fresh off like a workout, and he just, he did the gun and he went around the arc. He hit 25 to 30 threes from each spot. He's feeling good, and he walks into the locker room. Everyone's kind of on their phones and whatnot. He's like, "Hey. I just watched Indiana and they hit 1-3 all game. Okay. I just watched Purdue have a dogfight against Texas A&M cross country, Corpus Christi, whatever their name is.
Sure.
It's there for the taking, fellas. If we want this, we can do this, and we got guys that can do it. And for me, having Jay Nakeds had that game last game had to feel so good for him. I know it felt great for the fan base, but just for him in general to have that, I know that felt good. Obviously, you want something from some other guys on this team, but it's hard not to be excited about guys like Jase Richardson. Jase Richardson, and I've already said this on my Sleepers Media YouTube channel. I ate so much crow on what he has done so far, because even on the exhibition in the Spain trip, There hasn't been a moment where Jase Richardson has touched the floor as a Michigan State basketball player where he has not been impactful and really, really good as a friend. And that's crazy to see. And then even in like small minutes, you see like guys like Kurtang knocking down shots. Fears is dishing the ball. There is a lot to the potential of this team is there. Xavier Booker can shoot the ball. Frankie Fiddler can shoot the ball. Zapala, despite what you might think, that is the best center we've had in the last 5 years. With all due respect to Mady Sissoko. Sure. And look, there's some tinkering I think that needs to be done with this team. The lineup thing is always going to be a part of Michigan State basketball. It's a pastime. It's a pillar. Will always be a part of it. But the talent is there with these guys, and not only is the talent there, I think that if the right strings are pulled, these guys can be really complementary to each other. Like I remember in the second half of the Monmouth game, we had like Cohen Carr at the 4 and Kohler at the 5, and Jase Richardson was out there, and Fears, and they're getting up and down. Akins is running the lane. Like, it's just looking incredible. Cohen Carr is just using all this athleticism, and, you're playing fast. And Izzo's always, not always, but this year he talked about playing faster and shooting some more threes. Now, hopefully more threes come and more threes go in. But, I think there is the personnel with this team to play fast, while also, filling Izzo's center fix by throwing Zapala out there and throwing Kohler at center. But, there's the ability for this team to run, and guys can get better throughout the year. I think that one of the big things, at least for me, is I want to see Jeremy Fears be offensively more aggressive. Two shots isn't going to get done for me. I would rather him go 0 for 10, whatever that Dion Waiters graphic is, or Tony Snell.
The Snell one. Yes.
I need 10 shots. I need 10 shots, and I think he can do that. I think he has that ability, and him having that aggression will just ripple effect throughout the rest of the team. So it's early. It's one game, but I think it's fair to look around the league and look at this team and be like, it's there for the taking. Let's change expectations a little bit.
You know what? Let's just springboard off that right now. What do you want to see in this next game? Because the Fears thing was, he had a good game, obviously. 5 assists.
Yeah, 8 assists. You can't really come on here and be like he played bad.
Of course not. But he had that, drive and score before the first under 16 timeout. I should say. It's okay, that's the aggression, and then you didn't see it the rest of the game. That is one thing I would like to see. But really quick, I just want to just run down the Niagara Purple Eagles really quick. Head coached by Syracuse quarterback legend Greg Paulus, of course, as we all know. Now, they beat Houghton 100-65. That is a Division III college somewhere in New York. That is not Houghton Lake, Michigan by any means. And now, the Purple Eagles have one player over 6'6" that plays. All right. And I know the height isn't everything in basketball, but look, where is Michigan State vulnerable? It's in the front court. I'm kind of just, the moth to the flame of where's the height on the team. They don't have a lot of height on this team. They have actually, Carter, 14 new players over at Niagara. There is some turnover on that roster. And are you ready for the cheesiest thing you've ever heard? Or are you ready right now, Carter?
I'm ready, please.
This roster has more J's than a Snoop Dogg concert after party right now. Get ready for the top 6 scorers of this team. Josiah Davis, Jahari Williamson, Jaden Marshall, Justin Page, Justice Smith, and Jalen Martinez are your top 6 scorers. All J guy. Greg Paulus has a type down there. Look, Torvik expects a 25-point victory. The Fears aggressiveness is certainly one thing that we want to see more of. I will never go this whole season without saying that I would love to see front court production. But outside of that, is there anything that you want to see in Game 2 that you didn't see in Game 1? Because I'll just throw the third thing out there. I would like to see Booker score more than 4 points. I don't think that's asking too much, but take it away, Carter. Yeah. I
mean, that's definitely something I want to see. And also, this is a great little crossover right here. A young Carter Elliott, his sophomore year at Albion College, played Houghton at a Defiance College tournament.
Let's go.
Got the dub respectfully, but
let's go.
It's very telling that Niagara struggled with Houghton, which is why we get to this 25-point spread, because it should be covered. But for me, it's hard to come into these type of games and be like, this guy just has a better game. Honestly, this game is set up for everyone to play well. I want to see everyone win. I want everyone to play well, right? I'm not saying everyone's got to go for 20. I'm not saying everyone's got to do crazy things. I just want to go through the roster and be like, you know what? Good game. Yeah, Book, he was good. Fiddler, he was good. Aikens, good. Zapata, everyone just good all the way through. I think that's doable against this team. Booker's definitely one I want to see have a really good game. He should be able to dominate these guys. Just even talent wise, they're not on the same planet as him. Like it's just straight up. And he should know that. One nitpicky thing that I would like to see.
Please.
I don't know if we're gonna get it this game, but I would like to see Fiddler do a little bit of his scoring outside of just getting to the free throw line.
Okay.
Just like some spot up shooting type things. Or Fears maybe dishing out to him. He hasn't necessarily been, that great from the 3-point range. I'm just thinking down the line when Fiddler's not playing guys that are lesser than him or smaller than him, I have doubts about him getting past people or him, scoring the ball without getting to the free throw line. And that's no shade to him because it's very hard to get to the free throw line. That's a skill in the game of basketball. But what I'm saying is that I picture down the road, Fiddler is this guy who's on the wing. Fears is creating, and he gets to the elbow. He looks left. I see Jay Nakins on the wing, 40% three-point shooter. Book is popping. I could dish back to him. That's great as well. I look in the far corner. Fiddler's in the far corner. I can dish it to him. I can hit a floater. And if I'm feeling really, really dangerous, drop it off to insert center here, and hopefully insert center here catches it and finishes. I'm a simple man. That's really all I want.
You think that happens? You think that happens? Center's catching the ball first and foremost, and then
it's a certain center, yeah.
We've got some high expectations for this team coming up. All right, I've got some overreactions just from one game already in the season. Because I'm just a mentally unstable individual. Now I need Carter, someone that's somewhat more mentally stable, to check me on this. But first, guys, need to talk your ears off about Hims. That is right. Now, guys, sometimes intimate moments happen spontaneously, and we always want to be ready so we can perform in the bedroom. Well, Hims provides access to treatments so that we can last longer, giving you that boost of confidence so that you can be ready whenever the mood strikes. Now, it's so easy, right? It's just a series of questions online at their website. It's all confidential, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you in discreet packaging for free. No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatment to ongoing care. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, Hims can help you find the ED option that works for you. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/locked on. That is HIMS.com/locked on for your personalized ED treatment options. Again, guys, hims.com/locked on. This product mentioned are chewable compounded products which are not approved by or verified for safety by effectiveness by the FDA. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Prices varies based on product and subscription plan. Again, guys, hims.com/locked on. All right, we're dragging it back on here. It's Carter Elliott of Sleepers Media. You guys already know who this fine gentleman is now. I've got some overreactions, and what better person to break test this on than you, Carter, who on Sleepers Media gave the hot take. Now, Greg, of course, Greg Waddell, your partner in crime over there, as for your smoldering hot take, and you did not disappoint. You said there is a world where Kansas misses the tournament. And I said, that's the man that understands the assignment right there, because oftentimes you're like, oh, what's the hot take? And it's the most plainly lukewarm thing you've ever heard in your entire life. Kurt, really quick, how did that go over with Kansas fans? Really quick.
Yeah,
fine.
Not too well. We have history.
Not well.
Yeah,
okay.
we have history as well. For some reason, I got this really bad habit. You give me an inch, I will take many of miles. I think I called Jalen Wilson a system player like 5 years ago. Ended up being first team All-American. It happens. I wear it. It happens.
Well, that's how good the system was. They made him a first team All-American. I'm in your corner there. I'm not going to abandon you right now after that.
Thank you.
All right, my first overreaction is just point blank. One game in, the post game is already an upgrade over last year. I'm starting very lukewarm right now. Is that safe to say? No disrespect to Mady Sissoko, who 10-6 in his first game at Cal. Was it a dogfight against Bakersfield out there? Yeah, it was, but that's neither here nor there. I saw Zapata catch the ball. I saw him do footwork. I saw him finish. And Jackson Kohler, too. You know what? As fine of a start as you could have for that young man. It's an upgrade over last year. Fair or foul?
I think it's fair. I think it's fair as a unit too, because I kind of put Zapala and Kohler into that same unit. Kohler's finally healthy. I'm monitoring this one only because Zapala had a tough time against Ferris State Center and he couldn't catch the ball against Northern Michigan. But I'm not going to be one as a Michigan State fan to come on here and complain about 9, 8, and 3 blocks because I used to give my limb for that last year, so I'll take it.
I think it was, 2 games last year with the center position combined for double-digit points. It might be 3 games. Nevertheless, it was a excruciatingly low number last year, and I know that scoring isn't the NL be-all, but, man, when it happens 2 or 3 times, yikes. We all know the story there. All right, we're going to crank up the heat a little bit because Michigan State got 3-pointers last night. It's okay that we're going to need a little more than that. Now, what really worries me is that you got 2 guys coming back last year that shot 36% or better, right? It's Akins, it's Holloman. Even Fiddler did not shoot 36% last year, and he shoots at a much lower volume. So, Carter, 3-point shooting will cost this team one of these easy, quote-unquote, non-conference games. And I'm talking like Niagara, Bowling Green, Samford, Oakland, Florida Atlantic, Western Michigan, like your bye games that you get here.
Oof.
Will 3-point shooting doom Michigan State in one of these very easy gettable non-conference games, or am I being a chicken little over here?
I think it will. I think if it does happen,
not the answer I was looking for. I'll tell you right there. Did not want that answer, but that's.
I'm sorry. It is though because
it's not good.
Because you know the recipe for these teams that win these bye games. They come out and they just spray you with threes.
Yeah.
If we're not hitting threes,
yeah.
We're not, and let's not. Okay, our half court offense. I love a good floppy set, but I don't know if that's getting you back in the game. So like,
horns can only go so far in life.
It can only go so far. So it will be. I didn't like that. You welcome that to me. I didn't want to take that. So let's not do that again, please.
Okay. Next down the list here. Okay, here's like it's fun in theory, but like if it actually happens, it's not fun whatsoever. I am actually starting to get to the point where like I'm concerned that Cohen Carr will hurt himself during one of these dunks. Is that an overreaction or not? Because brilliantly said by the Student U production on Big Ten Network, Flight 55 did take off, and the first dunk, great. The second one, it's like, wow, I'm shocked he didn't completely disintegrate the backboard. But like, is he gonna like dislocate a finger or sprain a wrist during one of these dunks? Are we worried?
There's a very good chance because he actually dunks so aggressive.
It's insane.
It's insane.
I love it, but like I'm starting to get worried.
It's a real thing to not dunk like that. Shout out to the great Michigan State receiver Benny Fowler back in his junior year at Country Day. He hurt his wrist his freshman year, and every dunk that he did moving forward, he did like the little mellow, like just kind of dropping it, touch the rim. And just smart investment. And that's why he's good.
Okay. Do we want that though? Do we want smart and
safe, because Cohen Carr dunks hit different when it just pulverizes the rim. I like it. We'll risk it. It's okay.
Especially in the second half. Like it always brings life to the Izzo too. And like, look, you obviously didn't need the Izzo at cranked up to 13 for this Monmouth game, but it was a sleepy second half until he threw it down. Right. But like it adds a juice to Breslin Center, of course. So like, you know what? Injured wrist be damned. Just keep throwing them down, young man. Now, Carter, this one has somewhat of a personal attachment to Sleepers Media right here. And this is, I think we talked about this last time you were on, and we talked about Moneyball. Xavier Booker, like it wasn't outstanding for him, whatever. And he, I believe, commented on one of your videos where you said that he didn't play that great, which I don't think was out of line, but he said that amongst many things that some of the games were late, which like I think was like 8 p.m. So for my next one here, he didn't have the greatest game against Monmouth. Oh my God, I just blanked right there. So my next take, Xavier Booker should only play in the 14 games that tip off before 7 p.m. Eastern time for Michigan State this season. Keep in mind, the other 16, but those 14 games, that's when he comes out of his shell right here and he just drops 16 and 9. Just easy.
I'm at the point where if that's what makes him great, do it.
Fine.
Do it because his team needs him. Team needs him, I'll tell you that. Need him. So, yeah, go for it.
Wasn't the greatest. Are you like? This is a stupid question. I know it's stupid. I'll ask it anyway. Like, are you worried about Booker after game one? I'm not personally. I'd like to see him do something soon.
No, because I did some self-reflection, and
okay,
it just goes back to this, like, just don't sometimes expect players to just accept them for what they are, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Booker came in with these NBA lottery aspirations, and straight up, I just don't know if he's going to be that. And that is so okay. Like, that's fine. Like, just accept Xavier Booker for what he is. He's talented. On any night, he could go off. On other nights, he might not just go off. It's part of the experience. It's really what it is. And you know, Michigan State fans have been through players like that, so we're well versed. We know how this goes.
Raymar Morgan did play here.
Yeah, like what's that meme? Like, first time? No, it's not our first time.
No. I'm very excited for the games where like both Booker and Akins are both on, but like they're also so volatile that like those snowy road games at, I don't even know if they play at Minnesota, but for example, like at Minnesota where like they're both off, those are going to be
right. Elevated floor at the barn with 7 people in the stands playing at the Kohl Center at 12:07 p.m.
Sure.
Greg Gard's just like looking weird. Like it's tough. It's cold.
Ill-fitting suit and everything.
Right. No, it's tough to get going.
It is. All right. This is the last one that I'm going to save. And am I personal at the moment? Sure. Am I saying this just because I was high on the kid coming into college? Sure. Who cares? Here we go. 22 minutes. And it wasn't even the scoring that Jase Richardson did. It was just the fact that he played 22 minutes, that Izzo trusts him for 22 minutes on the court. Carter, we're going to see Jase Richardson's name and number in the rafters at Breslin Center one day. I've seen enough. I don't think that he's going to be a 2-year guy and then leave the NBA sort of guy. I think he can stay here all 4 years. It's clear that Izzo trusts him right off the bat, just numbers-wise. I think he could put up a fight here in the next 4 years, and that also includes bringing Michigan State back to glory. Final Fours, banners, happiness, smiling, put that number up in the rafters. Do I need to lay off the bottle a little bit, Carter? Just talk to me like a friend right now. That needs an intervention.
You're good. You are good. You're on the right path.
An enabler. That's good. Thank you. That's good.
He has not touched the floor yet and not been really good. I know. I'm not even saying this just because you asked this question. Greg asked me who's been the most impressive and who I trust so far, the most out of Michigan State. And I, with my whole chest, said Jase Richardson has been Michigan State's best player. He's been the most consistent. He's been the player that's led to winning every time he's on the floor. Like, he has been that guy so far. Yeah. And honestly, would love him for being the rafters too, because I think the Richardson family's doing some things that I'm not like seeing right now. I'm seeing things from the Richardson family that are upsetting me a little bit. So I would talk about it. Put him in the rafters.
Not going to talk. Just going to completely neglect it. Actually.
Yeah.
So let's talk. So let's go, Jase. Way to go, Jase. Leave it at that point. We love you, Jase. Good job. Good. Just look at a recruiting message board if you want to. Actually, no, don't. Act like this last 30 seconds never even happened, everyone out there. Carter, you're the best. I absolutely love talking with you guys over at Sleepers Media, whether it's you, Greg, both. You guys are just the best. Anything you want to plug here before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your week and enjoying, hopefully, a win over Niagara, those Purple Eagles over there.
Yeah, if we don't win, I'm never coming back. I know I told you I'm
coming back. I'm not either.
I told you I'll come back on whenever. If we lose, I'm not coming back. I will blame you, and that's okay because I have to.
There'll be no show to come back to. That's a promise.
It's fine. But no, just with the season underway over at Sleepers Media YouTube, we do like a bunch of previews, recaps of games. This year we got like a team of people who do like some more like other conferences because there's so many basketball teams. As much basketball as I watch, I do defer to some other people in this case. So, you know, you got previews, you got recaps on there. We do daily episodes as always with like stupid topics like which starting 5 would be the best stock market team or something like that. But it's always fun stuff. But yeah, just over on Sleepers Media YouTube channel, got really a little bit of everything for everybody.
Love that. And you guys know where to keep it here. Lockdown Spartans, we're going to be met with Chase Glasser tomorrow. Talk about, I was going to say pass rush issues for Michigan State, but it's more like pass rush catastrophes for Michigan State. It's not sunny episode of Lockdown Spartans here. And then, you know, at the end of it, we will get to this Purple Eagles, hopefully smackdown. Guys, again, Lockdown Spartans, you know where to keep it tuned. Thanks a lot, Carter. And thanks a lot to all the viewers, listeners. You guys are all truly the best. Love you all. Go Green.
Oh,